Wie er wel wil praten, zijn de ouders van de 17-jarige Stockton. Stockton is mormoon en gay. Een paar maanden geleden beroofde hij zich van het leven.
That's beautiful.
If you talk about your son, what kind of boy was he?
Spontaneous.
He was so full of life. I mean, he just was constantly throwing things out there just to shake it up.
Was he funny?
Oh, he's hilarious. He was.
Yeah.
I thought my jokes were good. His were better.
He was really talented. The kid could do anything. He was
Like
artist,
Wonderful guitar player, singer, swimmer, amazing skier, snowboarder.
Happy face.
Yeah, well, that's the thing that's so amazing about Stockton. One of the many things is, even in the darkest times, he always was able to smile. Yeah.
That somehow can be tricky.
That is true.
Oh, I don't know how he did it sometimes, but he did it.
And your son, he came out when he was 17?
No, when he was 13. So he had been out, when he passed away, he'd been out for 4 years.
And how did you respond?
I think we initially felt like maybe he was a little young to maybe understand where he was at. And so we didn't necessarily respond negatively, but we maybe didn't fully embrace it at that time.
And I think we also had a lack of understanding. And so, we went through a fairly short period of time to try to get ourselves educated.
But that to me sounds like, being really cooperative. Because it's totally understandable that as parents you think if your 13-year-old son, has his coming out, that you think, I'm worried or...
I think that oftentimes in the LDS church, it's church first. Now, I don't think that's everybody, but I think there's a good number of folks within the LDS church that kind of take that stance. For my wife and I, there was no question.
So what your son did when he was 13, very young,
Right.
Was a brave
Very
step.
brave. Well, not only brave, but he wasn't just out, he was out.
In the way...
He made sure everybody knew. There were times that he was on the high side of dealing with that, like I think we all, when we're going through challenges, and then there were times that he wasn't. And he felt the weight of that, and yeah, so I just think that's probably where he was.
Hmm.
He was probably in the darker side of that. And
It's funny that you say the word dark, because it's actually called the dark years. Years of coming out and then finding your way, because it's that hard.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened that he took his life when he was 17?
I think he felt a fair amount of pressure. I think he felt a lot of loneliness, pain that maybe he wasn't able to express. That was hard for him. I think it was heavy. I do. I think it was more than he could handle, and for whatever reason, he didn't feel like he could, either reach out to us again or reach for help. And I think he just thought that this might be the way he could finally find some peace.
the thing that there's a lot of things I appreciate about him and certainly miss about him. he loved so quickly. He took people immediately and didn't judge them. And I appreciate that, and I appreciate his courage. He didn't, I mean, I know he felt a lot of pain, but it was more important for him to have the courage than to give in to the, you know, the fear of things. So I appreciate that.
I think you have to hug each other.
We do a lot of that.
We do that a lot, don't we?